Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are here watching Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, for those of you who may be new here or may be unaware, I did watch this movie in theaters, so this isn't a blind reaction. I've seen this once. I saw it the day it, literally the day it came out, and then I intentionally did not watch it ever again until now because I didn't want it to be like old in my head. You know, there's gonna be things that I didn't quite remember or I haven't seen in a while. So this is kind of just gonna be like a fun rewatch. If that's something that bugs you or bums you out, totally understand, no problem. But if you don't mind, this is just gonna be a fun time watching this movie. It came out on digital just yesterday, I believe. So again, only seen it once. So I'm excited to jump back into it. If you were curious about what I thought on the movie before you watch this, I did post a review on the channel that I can link in the description. I loved this movie, thought it was fantastic. One of the best Tom Holland performances that I've seen. Easily his best Spider-Man performance, but just a grand old time. Totally loved it. I think this is going to be the method that I go for with these Marvel releases. So I'm going to be seeing a lot of these, like when these big, huge, bombastic movies come out, right? Like these huge blockbusters. I'm probably going to be going to see them in theaters first, on the biggest screen possible, so that I can just really get immersed in the whole experience of the movie. And then when it comes out on streaming like this, then I'll do a reaction for it. And if you guys are interested in watching it, then dope. If you're not interested, that's okay too. I'm just gonna have fun watching this movie. Before I jump into this though, please consider leaving a like on the video. That means a lot to me and it helps my channel out a ton. If you're new here or find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you are interested in the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon. I post all the full uncut versions of everything I watch on there in watch-along format. So you just sync up your own copy and you can watch along with me. On my Patreon, you can also vote in polls for what shows and movies I watch next, and you can get featured in every single one of my videos. But other than that, let's jump into Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man's real name is Peter Parker.
Name is Peter Parker. What the
Fitting that Jake Gyllenhaal plays a villain that gaslights people.
He hit me.
All this time, people looked up
Classic.
to this boy and called him a hero.
This dude just dives after him. What a goober. He touched her butt. It says, "I'm sorry." She's like, "Happy, just leave, please."
Oh my God. This isn't what it looks like, Happy.
Time to talk about the birds and the bees. I like how this is kind of like a oneer.
No, you take her your side street.
I think that was a improv. I think it was supposed to stay down.
I mean, maybe it's not such a big deal.
I think it's kind of a big deal. Spider Menace.
Who for years has been terrorizing
janky
the
setup.
decent citizens of New York.
You got a worse setup than me, and that's saying something.
We have a warrant for the arrest of Peter Parker.
You know the Fourth Amendment?
That guy's in
Unreasonable search and seizure?
he's in Succession. Yes.
Well,
Vindication!
charges against you are gonna stick him.
Wait, seriously?
Matt Murdock, my boy. I think technically a variant is what they're going with, not the exact Matt Murdock from the Daredevil series, but still beautiful to see him.
You're gonna need a really good lawyer.
He's a
Peter,
really
you may
good
have dodged
lawyer.
your legal troubles, but things will get much worse. There is still a court of public opinion.
Oh, I love they both would have caught it.
I'm a really good lawyer.
He's a damn good lawyer.
Listen, you and MJ can't. Back off.
Who are you?
I'm Ned Leeds. I'm Spider-Man's best friend.
You come at my boy, you come at Flash.
If you want to read about our inspiring friendship, you can now in my new book, Flashpoint.
The Flashpoint Paradox. Which Flashpoint will perform better, the DC movie or his book?
Some of the students put this together for you.
No, you did that. You did
I
that.
helped a little bit.
I think it's funny that Hannibal Buress is the one that is like fully believing this conspiracy.
This is our only shot. It's here or nowhere.
I feel like this is
Okay.
probably one of the most unrealistic parts of this movie is the fact that they're all getting denied college enrollment because of their like celebrity status. You know, I guess, you know, maybe the public thinks like being a vigilante, maybe they look down on it, but like Spider-Man he's like saved the world. So I don't think they look down on these people like Spider-Man as a vigilante. They look up to him as an Avenger, or at least like knowing the Avengers. Like he was there for Endgame. So I feel like every college in the world would just be sending him free stuff. They'd be like, come to our school, please. Because everyone and their mother is going to want to enroll in MIT or try to enroll in MIT so that they can see Spider-Man on campus. Like that's the only part. Like as someone who like went to college and understands why people go to colleges, it's like Spider-Man would immediately be accepted. Could you go to like community college? Like would the local tech college accept you? I feel like living in New York, you might have to move to Ohio in order to be able to live financially.
Hi.
Are those people technically like sorcerers? Or what if they're just random people that they just like paid to clean this place up?
You ready?
I'm ready.
Nice knowing you, Spider-Man.
This is they should have planned this spell out better, honestly.
The entire world's about to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, including me.
Everyone? Can't some people still know?
You know, they should have set up some parameters before they started this spell, because Peter honestly jacks this up.
Everyone in the world's going to forget that you're Spider-Man, except your girlfriend.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, Ned. Ned.
Also, he definitely could just like remind the people that he actually wants to know. He could easily just be like, hey, I'm Spider-Man. Like, I don't think that would have any drastic effects on the overall spell, right?
Peter, stop tampering with the spell.
When she found out that I was Spider-Man, it was really messy. Happy?
No, I'm annoyed.
No, it's a nickname. Harold Happy Hogan. He used to work for...
Classic wordplay with Doctor Strange. It's like in his movie when he had to talk about his name, he was like, Strange. And he's like, maybe. Who am I to judge? And Peter jacked this up. Strange probably had it under control, man.
That spell was completely out of control. If I hadn't shut it down, something catastrophic could have happened.
You tried to convince him to reconsider. There's nothing else you can do.
When you say convince him...
You hadn't even tried that yet.
Sorry. Are you telling me that you didn't even think to plead your case with him first before you asked me to brainwash the entire world?
Indeed.
Well, I mean, when you put it like that, then...
Just kicks him out. He's so mad. He's like, dude, we could have broken reality, which they did.
Basically, what I'm trying to...
Oh, here we go.
Oh my God. Man, You should get out of the car. Everybody get off the bridge.
Beta.
Hello, Peter.
Love it. Fantastic.
I know you.
What have you done with my machine?
They de-aged him, I think, for this movie. Literally. Marvel has that tech in real life.
Catch.
I love how that front bumper just does not rip off. It's a sturdy bumper. Ow. So that's why my package is delayed. This is a fun action scene, but a lot of these cars definitely do look fake as hell.
Nanotechnology. Ah, you've outdone yourself,
Crazy
Peter.
that he just like absorbs it.
But now you die.
I like that his suit adjusts.
You're not Peter Parker.
I am so
Not the one
confused
you're
right
looking
now.
for.
Now who are you? What is going on?
Gobby. Welcome, brava.
Osborn?
I like how he knows. Like, he's aware that Norman Osborn is the Green Goblin. Like, I don't think he knew that in Spider-Man 2. So he could technically even be a variant of the one that we know in Spider-Man 2.
That little spell that you botched where you wanted everyone to forget that Peter Parker's Spider-Man, it started pulling in everyone who knows Peter Parker's Spider-Man from every universe into this one.
Didn't pull them all in, though. There are a few tiny little plot holes in this movie.
So, how did you know you were made of magic? Because my Nana says that we have it in our family, and sometimes I get these tinglings in my hands.
You should talk to your physician.
Peter.
Doctor Strange wishes he got tingling in his hands again.
Norman Osborn. Brilliant scientist. Military research. But he was greedy, misguided.
What happened to
We tire of your questions, boy!
So I feel like that implies that the Otto and the Green Goblin in this movie aren't literally the exact ones from Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1. Because he never knew that.
To fight a ghost.
Like, Otto didn't know. Right? Unless I forget him, like, knowing that in Spider-Man 2. I feel like that was never public knowledge.
What's happening?
Peter, what is it?
Electro.
Are you in, like, the tingle thing? Is the tingle thing happening? Is your tingle tingling?
When?
Peter, it's me, Flint Marco. Do you remember?
Exposition.
Let's go.
Love he's just like totally like, whoa, Sandman. just immediately accepts the existence of this sand-based individual and understands his abilities. Meanwhile, Peter's just gonna cause a power outage for half the city. People are gonna be without power for a while, Peter. You're gonna have to fix this.
It's actually my fault that you're here.
Like the universe? Or the woods?
The woods. It's his fault that you're in the woods.
And here and act like I ain't butt-ass naked?
I am.
No.
He's still commando under there, right? They didn't give him any underwear.
What did you just do? What is this?
You picked the wrong side.
I wonder if he could, like, if he really applied himself, Sandman, could he, like, sand his way out of this prison? Like sandpaper? He would just, like, if he moved the sand really fast, as, like, a sander works, would he be able to create an escape from that room? Or, like, could he control the individual sand molecules or whatever of the wall? You know, because sand is just stone that's broken down. So could he theoretically apply himself to that? Who knows?
Coward. We have a new world to conquer. You make me sick.
Leave me alone, please.
His suit looks very interesting.
Hiding from who you truly are. You can't escape
He's
yourself.
a very good actor.
Hey, here he is.
My son? Sometimes I'm not myself.
Indeed. True. True facts.
Someone else.
He's lost.
This is definitely like the key catalyst in Peter changing his motivation in this movie. Like, he was initially all he steals that donut in the background. Steals another one. He was initially all on board sending these people home. And now seeing Osborn in this like sad old man state, he actually like feels bad for him.
That's the best thing that we can do for them.
And he wants to help him.
It was all over the news. Green Goblin impaled by the glider you flew around on. And a couple of years later, you...
See, but like that wasn't on the news. That was right? Like that was kept secret. So like the continuity for between those old trilogies is not perfect.
Once I finish the proper ritual, it'll reverse the spell and send these guys back to their universes.
You should have just left it at I trapped the spell inside this.
It's their fate.
Come on, Strange, have a heart.
I mean, Peter also doesn't know necessarily like how soon it would send them back. Like if they're getting sent back like seconds before their death, it's not necessarily like they wouldn't necessarily survive just because they get helped. But, you know, for the sake of the plot, we'll just allow it.
Don't.
Snag.
Dude, what are you doing? You gotta go. Okay.
This is why I never had kids.
I love that he can just easily walk out. You also never had kids because your girlfriend dumped you. Snag. This is cool. I love the way that they like show that the spider sense is this like out of body experience. And that like he can like still control his body. Like the spider sense is this like otherworldly thing.
I have no idea.
You should not be able to do that.
This feels amazing. Hey, get off of me!
There's your sorcerer Spider-Man from What If?
Into the mirror dimension.
This is like visually so cool, but at the same time, half the time I see this, I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. There's just so many things happening at once. He's so annoyed. He's like, oh my god.
What if we could? What if we could change their fate?
I mean, it is like, I feel like there's a compromise to be had, right? Like,
I'm not giving you the
right? Like he could easily just be like, maybe we should kind of like explore this possibility. Who knows?
Square the radius. Divide by pi. Plot points along the curve.
It's over, Parker.
I wonder how many people like actually understand the math that he's doing.
Hey, Strange.
Geometry.
You know what's cooler than magic?
Being a nerd.
Math.
Don't do this.
I have to try.
I love the fact he's just totally willing to let him dangle in the Mirrorverse for however long it takes to succeed.
I can help you. You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Memes. Love it.
Okay.
From this point on in the movie is really what solidifies this as my favorite Tom Holland Spider-Man performance.
So the chip in the back of Doc's neck was designed to protect his brain from the AI system that's controlling these tentacles, but if you look here, the chip is fried. So rather than him being in control of the tentacles are now in control of him.
Which I guess explains why.
Freshwater or salt? You know, because
Fresh.
you're an octopus.
What?
It's like, what?
Freshwater it is.
It's like, are you stupid?
The place where I worked at, their experiment with electricity
And
created
pool
by
of
living
eels.
organisms, and then I fell into a vat of electric eels.
You're kidding. I fell into a super collider.
Damn. Gotta be careful where you fall.
True facts. Don't fall into things. Ask Andy Dwyer. I fell into the pit.
I'll rip you a new job.
Bingo bango. I thought Octavius good man again. What if they killed him? Just dies. Oh man.
It's me.
Would you look at that?
Now give me my nanotech back, please. I like this version of the suit. Looks kind of cool. You know, the gold is interesting, but I prefer his the suits from Spider-Man, the original trilogy, and then the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I like those suits way better. I think my favorite suit might be the suit from Amazing Spider-Man 1, but with like updated eyes that look better.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are these your Legos?
They are indeed his Legos.
I gotta go. I'll be back.
What if you just wanted to talk Legos with Peter? It's like, been somewhat of a Lego connoisseur myself. I like that they try and play it up as though he's the one having the issue, so that the twist that it's Norman that has switched back to the Goblin is less obvious. I really also I love the disorienting camera work, the what is that zoom, the Alfred Hitchcock zoom or whatever it's called, where they like pull back the camera while zooming in on the subject, and it just makes everything look trippy. it's really cool to see how his spider sense is like taking over right now. So he knows something's wrong, but he's not sure exactly what it is.
That's some neat trick. That sense of yours. Norman? Norman's on sabbatical, honey.
Love that line. Love it. This upcoming fight scene is baller. I love this scene.
Run.
So close on that one. Oof. Niggas leave. This fight scene is crazy. He's so, like, he's crazy strong. And he's like insane. Dope. That was sick.
Weak to take it.
This is probably the best fight scene in all three of these movies. He's just smiling. So much property damage. These are $1 million condos. Pile driver through multiple floors. Like the sustained inertia and kinetic energy of him throwing him through the floor. It didn't work. I wonder I forgot why it didn't work.
It didn't work.
This scene, the upcoming scene is sad. Like the fact that she even like survives that, like she got smoked. When I initially saw this in the theaters, when she stands up and seems relatively fine, I was like, no way. She got destroyed. Oof. Like the fact that she's able to stand up at all is just crazy adrenaline. Her body's in hella shock right now.
No, Peter, you listen to me. You have a gift. You have power.
With great power.
And with great power, there must also come great
I
responsibility.
think that's the actual quote from the comics. They changed it for the original Spider-Man movies.
Catch my breath. Okay, well, catch your breath. I'm right here.
This scene is
Catch your breath and
the best Tom Holland has ever been as Spider-Man. Like it's the most genuine he has ever felt, to me at least. Like I don't know what it is about maybe it's his American accent just makes everything he does as Spider-Man feel very like fakey and not very genuine, but this scene is like he sells that he's actually him. If that makes sense. Very reminiscent of the scene in the Spider-Man PS4 game. Brutal.
May. What are you doing, May? Please, will you just wake up and talk to me, please? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
All right, worker, come out with your hands up! Come out right now, or we will open fire! Run!
Give him like a 2-second warning. We will open fire. Classic New York police. I guess this is a SWAT team, so not quite police, but You know what I mean. Rip to Aunt May.
Everything
That's-
Spider-Man touches comes to ruin.
It's one of like the core tenets of a quintessential Spider-Man story is like everything that he touches goes to ruin and his life just sucks. Like the fact that he's not like hella depressed is insane. That's why he keeps all the jokes flowing during his time as Spider-Man, because his life outside of that is just so depressing.
Okay. I just wish we could see Peter.
This the theater, watching this in theaters, the crowd was hype. Even though the CGI right here when he jumps through the portal is some janky stuff. like look at this. That's not perfect, but it looked way worse in the theaters. But like, we were hype. Let's go. Andrew Garfield, I think, is my favorite live action Spider-Man. His movies weren't necessarily the best of all the Spider-Man movies, but I think him as a Spider-Man I think he's my favorite.
Well, it kind of defeats the whole anonymous superhero thing.
It does indeed.
Why'd you do that?
I was trying to see if you have the tingle thing.
I have the tingle thing, just not for bread.
Just not for bread. I respect that.
I respect it.
He's the most genuine. Like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man seems like he seems the most like a real person.
So, I opened the wrong portal to the wrong Peter Parker.
Yeah, I guess you just keep doing it until I find
Like that's it? Yes. Again, some super janky CGI in this scene, but that's okay. It's wonderful seeing him again. His mouth in this movie looks a little weird. I don't know why. Gotcha, web shooters.
My Lola's asking if you could clean up the webs you just shot.
Oh, sorry, Lola.
Yes, of course. I'm going to bed.
Night, Lola.
I love the fact that Andrew Garfield immediately, he's on a first name basis with her. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, Lola. That's rough.
You don't belong here. Either of you, so I'm sending you home. Those other guys are from your worlds, right? So you deal with it. If they die, if you kill them, that's on you.
That's true. He totally could just be like, don't kill them. Press the button. Problem solved.
My Uncle Ben was killed. It was my fault.
I lost Gwen.
Yeah.
I carried on, tried to keep going, try to keep being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
I know that's what she would have wanted.
But at some point, I stopped pulling my punches. I got rageful. I got bitter. I just don't want you to end up.
It's so abundantly clear that Andrew Garfield is the best actor in this movie. other than Willem Dafoe. Like, it's so obvious.
She told me that with great power
comes great responsibility.
Indeed.
Wait, what? How do you know that?
Uncle Ben said it.
day he died. Maybe she didn't die for nothing, Peter.
I just love all their interactions. It's freaking wonderful.
Well, I got Connors. I've already cured him once, so no big deal.
He's like, yeah, totally
Plus,
easy.
no big deal.
It's just like, I just want to make it clear that I'm better than you. I think the thing I like most about Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man though is that he doesn't need web shooters. It just comes out of him. Right.
That's what we do.
I also like that little reaffirming we're curing all of them. Like even if it's a small little thing, like he's reaffirming to Peter 1 that he's not going to let him go down that rage path. Oh, and he's watching him. He wishes that was him with Gwen.
So wait, are you gonna go into battle dressed as a cool youth pastor, or you got your suit?
So funny.
Whoa! That came out of you.
Yeah.
It did come out of
You
him.
can't do that, huh?
No?
How on earth does that even?
Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. Look, this is where we're gonna do this, okay?
He's like amazed and disgusted at the same time.
And I promise you, I won't turn into a supervillain and try to kill you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Andrew Garfield's the best part of this movie. Just the subtle thing, but that little nod, like, nice, bud. Like, glad you're not gonna kill him.
We're gonna kick some ass.
You know, Max was like the sweetest guy ever before he fell into a pool of electric eels.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
That'll be great. All right.
It's just a fun play on the actual back issues. Tobey Maguire hurt his back while filming Spider-Man 2, I believe.
That's good.
Or before Spider-Man 2.
Does it just come out of your wrists, or does it come out of anywhere else?
Only the wrists.
I actually really enjoy Tobey's suit right now as well. Him and his suit, and then the suit from Amazing Spider-Man 1 Prime.
I fought an alien made out of black goo once.
Oh, no way. I fought an alien too. On Earth and in space.
Oh.
Yeah, he was purple.
I want to fight an alien.
Thanos.
Okay, guys, here he comes.
Here we go.
Hey, Max! I missed you, man!
Freaking love him.
Just FYI, lizard guy's here too. Guys,
I don't remember all the lines from this movie, only seeing it once. Just uncoordinated. Oh, man. I forgot. He clotheslines him. Like they're shooting each other and getting in each other's way.
I was in the Avengers.
the Avengers.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you.
What is that?
What is that?
Well, you don't have the Avengers. Is that a band?
He's so fun.
Look, it's not important. All we gotta do is focus, trust your tingle, and coordinate our attacks, okay?
Yes. Okay.
Peter 1, Peter 2.
Peter 2.
Peter 3.
Peter 3.
All right, let's do this. Ready?
Wait.
Peter 3.
I love you guys.
Love you too. Say it back.
Thank you.
I wish they would say it back. I think that little part of that scene was improv. I think Andrew Garfield legitimately was just having a great time. He was like, I love you. Clutch. That was beautiful. Ooh. Look at them land. Such posers. Yelena Belova. Why do you land like this?
Guys, I'm at the top.
I need the cure! Ah!
I'll be right back.
Yeet. Perfect. Good work.
Oh no, 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 no.
And that is a wizard.
Just slams him.
Leave them. They're mine.
I don't need your help. I got it just fine.
He does have it just fine.
What are you doing?
He's taking control. Still a good man.
There you go.
What a goat. Love him. Cure times 2. Back to a regular man you gar. Hey. At that point, like, you think you beat everyone.
Did you just open a portal?
He did.
Yes, sir, I did.
You're gonna get transported to Nepal to go to school. He's like, we're running short on wizards.
You got that suit. You help a lot of poor people. I just thought you was gonna be black.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
There's gotta be a black Spider-Man somewhere out there.
There is. His name is Miles. He's great. Goddamn eels.
Peter?
It's great seeing them interact
Otto.
again.
How are you?
Trying to do better.
I've been dangling over the Grand Canyon for 12
I know,
hours.
I know,
I
I
have
know.
been
I,
falling for 30 minutes.
Can the Spider-Man come out to play?
He's got strong blades on him. Explosion! Ooh. This scene from the trailer when everyone thought his hand was photoshopped. Get her, Andrew! Yes! Oh! Incredible.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
He's doing alright. He's okay. He's okay. It's just a very good moment of redemption for him.
Thank you, Mr. Cape, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Cape, sir. That cape could be a girl. You don't know. Don't assume that cape's gender.
Attaboy.
Oof. You could feel the weight behind that punch. Like Andrew. He stopped pulling his punches. They gotta step in. Ooh. That look. So much of Toby's act. Oh, and then he gets stabbed. So much of Toby's acting in this movie is just such subtle mentorship. Like he set it up earlier in the movie. He wasn't gonna let him go down that path, and again, then he's literally the one to stop him in this moment.
You are the one that killed her.
And now you're cured. Just an old man now. A really smart old man, but just an old man.
What have I done?
A few things.
That's you. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. I've been stabbed before.
Oh, God. Oh, good. Such a mean fake out. You don't have to fake us out like that.
What if everyone forgot who I was?
What?
They're coming here because of me, right? Because I'm Peter Parker.
Nani?
You gotta understand, that would mean that everyone who knows and loves you, we'd have no memory of you.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, still feels weird.
I'll see you around. Thank you. I guess I'll see you.
Yeah.
You're in so much pain, huh?
I am.
Oh, love it.
I love you. I love you, sweet. Wait, tell me when you see me again.
And then he doesn't say it. It's a brutal scene, man. Like, the quintessentially Spider-Man is having to sacrifice the things that he cares about most. Devastating.
Peter Parker? Peter Parker? Your coffee.
So sad.
What I was...
He's got the Band-Aid. He sees the damage that he can cause to them, and he's regretting. Well, he's regretting it, but then he's rethinking his decision, because he knows if he doesn't involve them in his life, that they are inherently safer.
Thank you.
No problem.
Don't be late.
His crappy little apartment kind of looks like the one from the Spider-Man game. It also kind of looks like the one from the original trilogy Spider-Man movies. It's just very quintessential. I mean, that's a decent apartment. It's like a decently sized apartment for New York. Like, how is he affording this? like it's a crappy apartment, but like even that crappy apartment in New York is probably like $2,000 a month. Like, there's no way Peter with a maybe minimum wage job. I like that he's got a new homemade suit, and I like the design of it a lot. I only have one issue with this suit, and that's the blue on this suit looks so shiny and glittery that it's like almost upsetting. I wish it was more of a little more of a darker not, well, maybe not a darker blue, but more of a matte blue. Just less glittery. And that's the end of the movie. Fantastic film. Freaking loved that. Okay. We're gonna skip straight to the end credits.
Okay.
Eddie Brooke as Venom.
Okay.
I haven't seen either of the Venom movies. If you're still watching at this point, is that something you think I should watch? Would you be interested in that on the channel? Who knows?
He has been saying
Danny Rojas! Danny Rojas! Football is life.
Hey, maybe I should go to New York and speak to this Spider-Man.
What is happening? No, we just got here. No, not again.
Oh, and there he goes. Danny Rojas is so confused.
There he goes. Without paying the bill, no tips, nothing.
But he left his little goop behind. God, freaking A. And then there's technically a trailer for Doctor Strange 2 at the end of this. I've already reacted to that on the channel, so if you're interested in that, peep that in the trailers reaction playlist. Otherwise, oh my gosh, fantastic film. Oh man, this film was such a joy to watch. I loved it the first time. I liked it just as much the second time. You know, there's definitely a decent chunk of like small little plot holes that you could pick apart in this movie, like how do certain characters know things when that's technically not how things happened in their movies, right? Like how does Octavius know that Osborn is the Green Goblin? You know, they talk about it being on the news, both of these people dying, like, but when in the original movies, like that wasn't the case. So like it could be a plot hole. It could just be explained that like maybe the characters that we are attributing to those old movies aren't necessarily the exact versions, right? Like, because technically, like, Matt Murdock shows up. Wonderful to see him. Technically, I think according to him, what they're going with is he is a variant of the one that we see in the Netflix series, which is now on Disney+. But it's not the exact same. And I think that might be what they're going with for these characters. It's like 99% of their story, the exact same. Like whatever they want to apply as being you know, canon, they can be like, that stuff is true, that happened. But then the stuff that contradicts it, they can just be like, oh yeah, that stuff is not canon anymore. Like they can do what Star Wars does. So like Star Wars has this like, I believe they have this like ring of continuity, right? So there's multiple levels of what is considered canon, where, well, at least that's what they had it a while back, where like the main like 7 to 9 movies or whatever is what they consider like fixed canon. And then like the animated shows are like, they're like 90% fixed canon, but like if something in the main saga of movies, like the live action movies, if something in that like contradicts something that's in the animated show, then the live action stuff takes priority. And then there's like the books and the games and those are canon as well. And then there's like the extended universe, which is not canon, but like is still dope and they can draw upon if they want to and like make certain things canon. So it'd be interesting if they applied the same process to like these films, where like the main MCU films that we see since Iron Man came out, that is all, and the animated What If show, that is all fixed canon. And like the new live action Disney Plus shows, that's all fixed canon, like priority circle 1. And then anything that was on the Netflix shows and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and some of these other shows, those are kind of like circle 2. And some of the old movies like the X-Men movies or the original Spider-Man trilogy or the Amazing Spider-Man duology. Those are also kind of like circle two, where like you can kind of assume those are like canon in a sense, right? Like for the characters that appear in these films, but if certain aspects of them don't line up, the current thing of what we know or what's presented to us in the MCU takes priority. That would be an interesting way of maybe explaining away some of those plot holes, and I think people would be generally pretty fine with that. But yeah, like I said, there's some small things you could nitpick here and there. There are certainly moments where the CGI is not great. They definitely had to save some money on some of the early on CGI, and they've made it look better since the theatrical release. Definitely, that's one of the downsides of some of these Marvel films, is like they're constantly doing reshoots and you know, oftentimes not finishing the CGI until like the same week that this movie's coming out. Like I think this movie, they finished the CGI just a couple days before the premiere, which is insane. Doctor Strange 2 comes out in a few months. They're currently doing reshoots for that movie. like they go right up to the line. So like, yeah, early on, some of the CGI, a little wonky, but they fixed it, and the last 40 minutes of the film, the CGI was way better, like insanely better. But yeah, I love this film. I think this was easily Tom Holland's best performance as Spider-Man. Most of the time I've watched Tom Holland, both in his original, like his two, Homecoming and Far From Home, and then all his appearances otherwise within the MCU, he gives off this like he has this effect where, like, I don't know if it's just his American accent or what it is, but it seems not genuine, which is a weird thing to nitpick about. Like, yeah, obviously it's not real, he's an actor. But other actors have this ability to make the lines they're delivering, no matter how outrageous or what accent, like feel very genuine. Like Andrew Garfield, his Peter Parker Spider-Man feels so genuine and down to earth, and it's so easy to believe that he is there and he is Spider-Man. And he's great. He's fantastic. Tom Holland's Peter Parker Spider-Man has never quite given off that impression to me. You know, part of it is how CGI his suit always looks. I mean, it pretty much is full CGI, his suit. They just have a mocap suit on. They're very rarely ever in actual suits now. And you know, that was somewhat the case in the old films as well, but they definitely relied more on practical things. But so Tom Holland has never quite given off the impression of like believability in a sense. You know, obviously outrageous things are happening, but I'm talking like on a character level. But this film, particularly the second half of the film, is easily Tom Holland's best performance as Spider-Man. Probably his best performance that I've seen in a movie. The Devil All the Way Down, or whatever the movie's called, that he was really good in that. And that was like way more believable. Like he's way better in that than he is ever in Spider-Man. But he crushes it in the second half of this film. Like the scene where Aunt May dies, like fantastic. The most genuine and heartfelt he has ever been in this role. Every interaction that he had with the other Peters, just fantastic. It was great to see Tobey Maguire back after like 20 years, like 15, 20 years since his movies came out. And he looks older. His initial introduction, his mouth looked so weird. And sometimes when he talks, his mouth looks really weird. I don't know why, but it does. But a lot of his acting in this movie, he hasn't acted in a long time. You know, like before this, he hadn't acted in years. So like the way that he is still able to pull off all these like subtle little things in his acting performance was great. Like the setups of him mentoring young Peter was just fantastic. Easily the best part of this movie, though, is Andrew Garfield, which is weird to say about a movie where he is not technically the main character. He crushes it. It is vastly abundant that that Andrew Garfield is far and away the best actor in this movie. Like, Zendaya probably is close up there as the second best actor in this movie. She's a fantastic actress if you've seen her in anything. And Willem Dafoe, obviously unhinged and amazing as the Green Goblin. He's fantastic. He struggles a bit in other roles, you know, differentiating himself from the weird persona. Like, that's kind of his thing. But in terms of all around actors that can do anything you ask of them, and they're perfect and award worthy actors, number one, clearly Andrew Garfield. He's so good. This movie came out at around a similar time as Tick, Tick, Boom, and he crushes that movie. He won Best Actor for that movie. Zendaya, also a fantastic actress. She's won a couple Emmys for her role in Euphoria, so she knows what she's doing. Tom Holland, he's a good actor, but again, like I said, he gives off this air of not genuineness in this role. But I don't know, man, this was a quintessential Spider-Man story where, you know, the core tenets of who Spider-Man is, of like someone who has to sacrifice his own happiness for the well-being of the world, shines clear in this movie, and just constant tragedy befalling him, and having to push through it and be Spider-Man, you know? It just fantastic. And like his decision at the end to not tell his friends who he is, because he sees the effect that him being Spider-Man can have on them, is heartbreaking. I like Spider-Man being poor at the end, but like, not really that poor. He has a, you know, studio. It's not even like it's like a studio apartment, but it's got like an actual kitchen and it's got like a separate little mini nook in it. So that's like, he's in a, you know, $2,500, $3,000 apartment per month. Like, he ain't paying $400-$500 a month. Like, he's not even paying. Well, I live in Minnesota. A studio apartment in Minnesota, in downtown Minneapolis, say, is at least $1,000 a month. New York City, that type of apartment that's even though it looks not fantastic, that apartment is easily $2,000 a month. Like, real estate in New York is insane. So I don't know how he's gonna do that on a whatever job he has. Who knows if he has a job. But I like him being poor, and just, he's kind of him at the end of this movie is kind of in the same spot that, like, when you think of Spider-Man, like where a lot of where maybe Tobey's was at the end of Spider-Man 1 or Spider-Man 2, kind of like that starting point of like just being a poor kid whose life sucks. But when he's Spider-Man, he's great, and he's funny and makes jokes, because if he doesn't make jokes, the depression comes and gets you. Like, it's just great. You know, I talked in my initial review of this movie about how I was generally okay with Spider-Man Homecoming. I'd give it like a 7 maybe out of 10. Spider-Man Far From Home, I'd give like a 3 out of 10. I did not like that movie. It was not good. I don't know why. It just, I didn't like it. I think I liked it the first time I watched it, and then every time I think about that movie since then, I like it less and less. So it's just, I don't know. This movie's great though. Freaking love it. The implications of what could be coming from this movie are far-reaching. I'm very interested to see if it has any effect on Doctor Strange 2, or any other movies, possibly, Hopefully we can get some more Andrew Garfield back in Spider-Man stories of his own, maybe Tobey Maguire. I think Tobey Maguire is confirmed to be in Doctor Strange 2, which is very interesting. Well, I don't know if confirmed, but all the rumors coming out are like, he's in it. So we'll find out, I guess. But yeah, again, this movie was great. Loved watching it a second time. Hopefully if you guys are here for this reaction, you didn't mind that it was my second time seeing the movie. I had a grand old time. Hopefully you guys had fun as well. Definitely let me know what you guys thought of this film down in the comments below. How does it stack up to the other Spider-Man movies for you? This was probably my second favorite superhero movie of the year. My favorite one, obviously, being The Batman. Probably best superhero movie of all time. But this one stacks up incredibly well. And I had a lot of fun watching it. So thank you for being here. But if you liked my reaction or this movie in general, please leave a like on the video. It helps me a ton. If you're new here or find yourself coming back often, or you want to see me react to other superhero related things, other Marvel movies, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon. I post all my full uncuts over there in watch along format, so you just sync up your own copy of the show or movie and you can watch with me. On Patreon, you can also vote in polls for what shows and movies I watch next and get featured in every single one of my videos. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.